It is wild the reaction that we are seeing to Ahsoka. There is no nuance at times. It's very much you either like, why don't you love it? You have to love it. How can you not love what's in front of you? Or, well, if you don't, just say it's like the worst fucking thing ever. I think there's room to acknowledge that there's some like cool parts and cool moments and still being able to be very critical of the show like I have. For instance, Anakin's return. There's some really cool shit, and I feel awesome for Hayden, like to get to do that. And I feel like he really had a good time doing it. And I think there's some scenes there that are really fucking cool, but that doesn't change the show. That doesn't change why did they do this? What was the purpose of this? Does this make any sense? And can it possibly save the poor writing, plot, and character development and acting that we've seen in this entire thing? I think definitively the answer is no. You know how they really tug at your heartstrings with Hayden, despite it not being right, despite it one not being the real person, and also despite it just being used to further put Ahsoka over and make Ahsoka the most important character in fucking Star Wars history, while still criticizing that. I said that I thought they were going to use Anakin and have a moment just like people felt at the end of Mando season 2. Oh my God, Luke Skywalker. And they're going to overlook all the bad writing and all the bad plot, all the bullshit because of that moment. And I also said that Rebels and Clone Wars fans are probably going to feel, they're probably going to love this shit because it's literally going to be made for them. And I also said that the entire point of the series and of Anakin's return and everything else was going to further Dave Filoni's agenda, which has always been his agenda, to make Ahsoka Tano the most important character in Star Wars history. When you look at how intricately they involved her in the Clone Wars and didn't kill her off. Instead, she was there at the Siege of Mandalore. She was completely tied in with Revenge of the Sith, the events of Revenge of the Sith, was just fucking bullshit. They let her beat Darth Maul and survive 1,000 fucking clones. And then they make her a part of the rebellion. Oh, by the way, she was there at Padme's funeral in case you missed it. Then she's one of the people that starts the fucking rebellion. They invent time travel. Maybe not time travel. Dave Filoni doesn't want to call it time travel, War Between Worlds, but effectively time travel to save her ass again. That's the second time she's been brought back from the dead, by the way, if you remember the Mortis arc. And now, in this series, once again, for the third time, we have Ahsoka. Somehow, in whatever way you want to spin it in your heads, whether you think that was the World Between Worlds and this actually was Anakin Skywalker, and, you know, he just decided to teach her a lesson about live or die instead of maybe tell her a bunch of shit that's really fucking important, like the Emperor's still there, like Exegol, like the Wayfinder that he can use. All that shit. But anyway, if you thought that was the real Anakin, good for you. If you don't think so, then it's another near-death experience. And Ahsoka is basically brought back to life for the third fucking time. And all of this, including her interactions with Anakin Skywalker, are an effort to make you think that Ahsoka Tano, while not being it, is one of the most important characters in Star Wars. Luke Skywalker is readily available to do some of these things. It's Ahsoka that is getting all these important things happening to her. She's the one that's going to go save the galaxy because at the end of the day, she is the most important character in Star Wars to Dave Filoni, and she always has been.